All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash, and double honors to the apostles of the great millstone, and as well as giving you brothers your deserved salutations for forwarding this truth worldwide. And Shalom to the Yakim Wafiam that support we say what we do. Most importantly, take heed. And it's your brother once again, Laban, at you another video. I'm going in on this case, the avian flu. And I'm keeping my eyes tied to this, man, because I did this topic before, speaking on this. And, on France 24, they was like making it look very, convincing and scary that, look, this is the variant we got to be out for. And as well as, I'm on the Sky News right now. I got the tab, so I'll go into that, sometime sooner or later. And, they're doing the same thing. They're putting this narrative out there that this particular flu or variant, which is nothing more than a weak one at that, is very weak. All right. People that get affected by this would have to have a real weak immune system. Okay, but they're gonna use the very few people that attracted this particular variant, and they're gonna then woo the public and scaring us to believe that this is capable of mutating. All right, it can affect mammals, and as well as if it can affect mammals, then it can affect human beings too. And this is the spin that they're pushing. All right, that's the spin narrative that they're pushing. All right, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go to the website, and we're gonna read what it says on the Sky News. And before I go, I just want to just show you that these are recent news articles that have been published a couple of hours ago. Not too long ago. Salakia. That's what I wanted to say. So yeah, that you have it right here. Reuters is talking about it. Telegraph is speaking on it too. Scientific American. So you can see it right there. It's very clear. All right. So this reads, scientists on high alert for bird flu as seabirds return to UK coast. Professor Ian Brown, the director of scientific service at the government's Animal and Plant Health Agency, stressed the need to be watchful after thousands of gannets died as a result of the H5N1 virus last year. So it reads, scientists on high alert for a new influx of bird flu. Seabirds return to the UK coast in large numbers for the nesting season. A second summer of mass mortality would have a devastating effect on the population of gannets and some other species, and it would also raise the risk of the variant being transferred to mammals. In an exclusive interview, Professor Ian Brown, the director of scientific services at the government's Animal and Plant Health Agency, told Sky News that the source of the virus behind last year's dies off was still unclear. It looks like the virus was introduced into seabird colonies by another population, he said. So rather than those gannets going out to sea and being exposed to the virus, it is more probable they were exposed to other birds that mingled in their colony. Gulls, which we know are very susceptible to this virus, can carry it and can shed it. So in theory, they can introduce it into a colony. So here's the video. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on post-production, and you're going to see this guy. He's going to talk about it. And, he's going to have like one of his eyebrows is raising up, looking like, what's the guy's name, man? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or something like that. Like, you can't trust no ninja telling you about a particular variant with his eyebrows raised up. You know what I mean? That's how you know that this is BS, man.
There are some indications that this virus has gone through a human. So what we have to understand is that when a virus gets into a new host, they are very promiscuous. They change very quickly, and they do adapt.
Let's get to the scriptures now. Let's get the book of Psalms 58 And verse 3, and the wicked are estranged from the womb, and they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And their poison is like the poison of a serpent, and they are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. So in other words, these people specialize in lying. Now, when you read the scripture in Genesis, 27 in verse 40 and onwards, right? It mentions the blessing that E-sau would have. And yes, it mentioned that he would rule or live with the sword, which the word sword is from the Hebrew word korab, which means to lay waste. So E-sau would rule in a very destructive manner, of course. But guess what? E-sau would also rule with having the ability to lie, which that can destroy a lot of people too. You know how many people died over E-sau's lies, right? So even that can be destructive. A false tongue can be destructive as well. Okay, and a lot of people, as I'm going to always talk about, going all the way back 2 years ago, or 2.5 years, about 3.5 years ago now. I believe this December coming, it would be 4 years. And going on 4 years ago, we had got the heads up from the media of a particular variant. And months down the line, they wind up having us to be on the lockdowns to mitigate the particular variant that they were saying that was causing negative effects to people, right? And possibly people were dying off of this as well. But now what you have, just to fast forward now, what you have, those that have received the VACCINE are dying more so than what was told to us in the media about the COV. All right, because really what was going on is that the people were lied to go line up and to go take the VACCINE to mitigate or to attack the particular variant, when they was actually injecting the variant inside of their skins. All right, that's what was really going on. So with this case now, they're going to tell you, well, see, this is mutable. If this can have an effect on mammals, because you would think, as I've already done my research on this already, and even the NHS will show you and tell you that basically this doesn't have a large effect on people. And even as you saw in this video, they've actually showed you, the guy was actually showing you, the news guy was actually showing you that 2 people contracted this. So if it's 2 cases if 2 individuals caught this, that means that this is a weak, measly variant that no one has to worry about, that most of us don't have to worry about, unless you have a severely weak immune system. Okay, the only way that a virus can have an effect on the body, no matter what virus it is, you have to have a suppressed immune system. Now, I'm not a doctor, okay, but that's just the basics of what I know. All right, if your immune system is high power, you don't got to worry about no damn virus. All right, you have a common cold and things of that nature that has an effect on you from time to time, because it's something to do with your immune system. Okay, there's always going to be viruses floating around. That's why the Lord gave us the immune system, to fight off viruses. When you shake people's hands, you could very well be contracting the virus. Okay, you could be sitting on the chair. The chair can have a virus on it. All right, you could go outside. There's a plethora of viruses out there. No matter what you do, you're going to meet a virus somehow, some way. And your body can choose to be acceptable to it because it's weak, or your body has the tendency to fight it because you have a strong immune system. Okay, so because most people don't understand the basic, biological knowledge of how the body works, they're gonna go to the doctor and go with what the doctor tells them. Which, by the way, the word doctor means to falsify. Okay. And that's why in these places in Africa, I believe predominantly in West Africa, you have what you call these witch doctors, which these witch doctors tell you things that they tell you things, and if let's just say you believe in these things to be the case, then it can happen for real. because you've taken hold of what that person has told you, you know, or what that doctor has told you. So all the doctor has to do is tell you lies or tell you things that, you know, seems real to you. And then eventually, if you believe in those words, then those words would be your reality. Like for usually, like when doctors would tell, you know, a person that's morbidly obese, and the doctors would tell them, look, if you don't do A, B, and C, you can wind up dying for 5 years, right? Or you might wind up dying in 2 years. Now, if that person believes that, then that's going to be the case. So this is the thing. And as well as the people that control the media, they know this. They know the power of words. They know the power of psychology. And in order for you to get people to believe in your psychology, you have to have people have to be unaware and unconsciously aware of how things work concerning viruses and many other things that people don't know. In order for you to get hip to this stuff, you have to not know. You have to be unconsciously aware so that these words can work and operate through your life. But if you're a person like me that does research and that's circumspect all around, you know, you're not going to get phased to these lies. And it's not even about that. The ultimate thing of the matter is that we know who our enemy is. We know that these devils lie. Let me turn this on. We know that these devils lie and these devils have an agenda. But how many people know what we know? So if you don't know, if you're naive, you're going to be acceptable to what's being said because you don't have the knowledge. If you had the knowledge, you would see right through this BS. Okay? So you know, I kind of went somewhere else with that. Let's get back on track and let's read this again. Psalms 58 verse 3. It says, "The wicked are estranged from the womb, and they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies." And who is this wicked? Now, when you read the book of Malachi 1 and verse 4, it tells you that E-sau is the border of wickedness. Who is E-sau? E-sau represents, or not represents. E-sau is indeed the those that call themselves white. They're a nationality of people that are biblically known as the Edomites. Now, you can call them E-sau or Edom, and these people are indeed, as I just quoted, the people, the border of wickedness. So these people are going to go astray. They're going to be estranged from the womb. In other words, they're going to be separate from the Most High himself, and they're going to go astray, speaking lies. And that's all they can do. And this is why this reads, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rest have not been altogether wiped away." And what is Esau's wickedness in this case? His lies, his level of deception, that has not been gone away. All right, that will always remain with these devils, because these devils need to use that ability so that they can stay on top, so that everyone can be at the bottom of them. All right. That's the only way that they can basically rule over the people. They can't rule people by truth because they're not going to win on that regard. So the one way that E-sau can only but win, because they're weak, pathetic individuals, they're going to lie to you. All right. And these lies are going to keep you destroyed and possibly have you die. Okay. How many people died under the belief of the you know what? A lot of people died, and many other things people have died over because of these lies that was told. All right. So Esau's going to keep using the tactic of deception, which works. So this reads, "Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, and neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat." Yeah, that's going into something else. Let's read verse 13. "Who will pity a charmer that is bidden with a serpent, or any such as come nigh a wild beast? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity?" Exactly. Well, you can't feel sorry for a person that knows what this man is capable of doing, but then they don't do their research. And I mean, to really be honest with you, let me reiterate what I just said there. Like, a person that doesn't know, they're gonna just go and take the word for it. But realistically though, man, like, you can't do that. You can't just take someone's word for it. It don't matter who it is. It could be someone that's accredited nurse, accredited doctor. All right. You don't take a person's word for it. You do your research on a particular thing before you take anything. Okay. So this is what most people don't do. Most people just take credited people's words, and then they later regret it. Oh man, I should have did my research. And then they're doing their research and they're finding out that what they took was not helpful at all, but rather the quite contrary. All right, because you got people out there that have the knowledge of these devils, but then people just don't listen, and they go and take the man's word for it, or these people's words for it. And so there you have it. But with us, going back to the point, we know that we have an enemy, and as well as he is the enemy of life in general. So we know this. So this is why whatever E-sau got to say, we don't really take it seriously. Okay? We don't take it seriously. Psalms 38 and verse 12. And they also that seek after my life lay snares for me. And they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things and imagine deceit all the day long. And that's what they do. That's why they get together in these secret organizations, and they do their sorcery and their witchcraft to come up with evil, wicked ideas to overthrow you, because this is what they're known to do. All right. They can't help it. And plus, this is how they're able to keep themselves afloat to win over everybody. It's through these lies and to exercise these lies out here. Okay, because the ultimate agenda is to formulate a new world system. So if they can have you believe in their chaotic lies, and therefore and then you have to experience the chaos because you've underwent their lies, then it's better for them. Then it just moves their agenda further. Okay, so there you have it. That's all I got to say on that regard. Let's read some more on this. Yeah, verse 13. But I, as a deaf man, heard not, and I was as a dumb man that opened not his mouth. Thus was as a man that heareth not, and in whose mouth are no reproofs. For in thee, O Yahweh, do I hope. Thou wilt hear, O Lord, my power. For I said, hear me, lest otherwise they should rejoice over me. When my foot slippeth, they magnify themselves against me. Yeah. So that's it right there, man. That's it right there. The point of the matter is that we're supposed to take heed to the Heavenly Father, and we're supposed to hope in Yahweh, the Most High, through His Son Yahweh Shai. That's our hope. So if that's our hope, then we're supposed to be what? Focusing on what the scriptures is saying, focusing on what the men of the Lord is saying. Okay, and that's how you're able to keep yourself away from the evil man, because they can feed you, as it is written also, that the Lord have sent pastors after His own heart, not after their heart, but after His own heart, to teach you the wisdom and the understanding. And by this wisdom and the understanding, which is the Bible, what are you going to know? You're going to know the ways of the evil man. Proverbs 2:10, when wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh froward things, who leaveth the paths of uprightness to walk in the way of darkness. Okay, so once you have this knowledge, you're going to be what? Torn apart from this devil. You're going to be very watchful. You're going to be circumspect. Let's use that word instead. You're going to be circumspect, and you're going to be aware of the devil. All right. The physical counterpart, I may say, in this case. All right. Like, you got a guy that's explaining how this bird flu is going to be a threat, and this and that and the third, with one eyebrow raised up and one normal. Like, you can't trust no nigga like that. Okay, so hey, that's all I gotta say, man. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna let it be known from there. So with that, I'm out. Shalom.